now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Israel. Shabbat shalom, man. Let's get it up.
That's right. Pray to everybody's having a blessed Shabbat on this beautiful Shabbat. Y'all know, hope you pray that you all are staying cool with all the heat waves going on. I don't call it a heat wave, but you know, it's the Most High increasing the frequency of the sun, destroying our enemies.
That's right.
So let's continue to pray for the destruction of our enemies. But in the meantime, hey, we're going to get into the scripture reading. We're going to be in the book of Jubilees. The book of Jubilees, chapter 1. I'm going to read verses 7 through 11, 7 through 10, and then Brother Aton's going to take the rest. All right.
There you go, brother.
Let's get it. And do thou write for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land which I swear to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them, for they will forget all my commandments, which we have done, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. And these will prove unto them an offense, and a tribulation, and an affliction, and a snare. And you see what's going on now is everything that is said right here in verse 8 is exactly what our people are doing. Verse 9, and many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Shabbats, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. Let's scroll up. All right, in verse 10, and they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven images, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the works of the errors of their hearts. You know, they got all these Christmas trees and all kinds of niglets in their homes and everything of Hamites and stuff. I mean, it's just crazy.
Facts, man. All right, I'll start with Brother Daniel left off. We're going to start at 11. And it says, and I will witness unto them, that I may witness against them. But they will not hear, and they will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the law. And they will abrogate and change everything as to work evil before my eyes. And you know, Israel, right, we see that today, especially in our community. Everything that's good has turned, you know, everybody, you know, they look down on it and they think it's wickedness, right? If you want to get married, oh, you say that's so, oh man, you don't, why you want to do that? Or you want to, you know, try to do the right thing. Man, our people are not for that for some reason. And it says, and I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them in the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, right? Where we're at today. That's why we're in America, Britain, and all these other European countries, right? And even the Arab countries as well. And for a prey and for a devouring, and I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as into new moons and Sabbaths and festivals and jubilees and ordinances. And after this, they will turn from me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and all their soul. All right. So only it seems like when we turn back to the Most High, when he will be returning to rescue us. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness. And I will remove them the plant of uprightness. You know what? The Salakia, right? The very first part of that is extremely important. It says, and I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness. So not only are we going to have peace, brothers not going to be fighting amongst each other. Everybody's going to be getting along, but at the same time, we're going to be doing that with righteousness, and that's going to be obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. And I will remove them. Come on, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart, with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail, like we are now. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them nor fail them, for I am the Lord their God.
Man, that's amazing, man. And it's like Brother Etan was saying earlier, it's like, man, our people are just allergic to righteousness. Like righteousness is a evil thing or something, man, that they cannot even attain to. But righteousness is just keeping the commandments, man. It has nothing to do with, your behavior. It's just keeping the commandments, man. Man, our people, man, we had all kinds of fun, man, doing stuff together. Brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We were kicking butt together, man. We were doing. I mean, it was just a brotherhood, man, like no other, man, because everybody was keeping the commandments. Our women were preserved, and and everything was in order. But like when we live out of order, that's when you have chaos. And it's just people got to get back, man. Got to get back to the simple things. And got to get back to these commandments. But we already know what the deal is. All right, so we're going to be starting at the book of Jasher, doing our whole the book of Jasher reading from the beginning all the way to the end. And already we've been through some exciting things, of our forefathers and some of the superpowers that these guys have. But we ain't seen nothing yet because it's going to even get better. So I'm going to start off the first 10, and we're gonna get it popping. All right. The book of Jasher, chapter 40. And the sons of Jacob led away all the. So before I go, now remember we read 39. They were still battling with Shechem and them boys, and destroying them kings and everything. So we're kind of getting into the tail end of that. So it says, and the sons of Jacob led away all the spoil of Gaash, and went out of the city by night. It's amazing how the Most High allows our people to capture our enemies and then take all their stuff. Verse 2. They were going out marching toward the castle of Beth Crowan, and the inhabitants of Beth Crowan were going to the castle to meet them. And on that night, the sons of Jacob fought with the inhabitants of Beth Crowan in the castle of Beth Crowan. Can you imagine fighting in a big old castle? And just by the way, the Europeans did not build these castles. They were built all by black people. And all the inhabitants of Beth Corin were mighty men. One of them would not flee from before 1,000 men. Dang. And they fought on that night upon the castle, and their shouts were heard on that night from afar, and the earthquake at their shouting. That's some serious shouting, man. And all the sons of Jacob were afraid of those men, as they were not accustomed to fight in the dark. And they were greatly confounded. And the sons of Jacob cried unto the Lord, saying, Give us help, O Lord. Deliver us, that we may not die by the hands of these uncircumcised men. And the Lord... Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And the Lord hearkened to the voice of the sons of Jacob. And the Lord caused great terror and confusion to seize the people of Beth Crowan. And they fought amongst themselves, the one with the other, in the darkness of night. Now remember, these are the people who were used to fighting that night. It's like the Most High just smote them. It says, and smote each others in great numbers. Most High must have blinded them or something. It says, and the sons of Jacob, knowing that the Lord had brought a spirit of perverseness amongst these men, and that they fought each other, each man with his neighbor, and went forth from among the bands of the people of Beth Crowan, and went as far as the descent of the castle of Beth Crowan. And they tarried there securely with their young men on that night. That is crazy. And the people at Beth Crowan fought the whole night, one man with his brother and the other with his neighbor. And they cried out in every direction upon the castle. and their cry was heard at a distance, and the whole earth shook at their voice, for they were powerful above all the people of the earth. All right, you scroll up to 8.
People of Beth Corin, mighty men.
Beth Corin, yeah. And all the inhabitants of the cities of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Hivites, and all the kings of Canaan, also those who were on the other side of the Jordan, heard the noise of the shouting on that night. And they said, surely these are the battles of the Hebrews who are fighting against the 7 cities who came nigh unto them. And who can stand against those Hebrews?
That's right.
And all the inhabitants of the cities of the Canaanites, and all those who were on the other side of the Jordan, were greatly afraid of the sons of Jacob. For they said, behold, the same will be done to us was done to those cities. For who can stand against their mighty strength? So they knew, man. They knew that the God of Jacob, man, of Israel, boy, was powerful, was a force to be reckoned with.
God, man, that's verse 11. Let me scroll up. All right, and it says, and the cries of the Koranites were very great on that night, and continued to increase, and they smote each other until morning, and the numbers of them were killed. And the morning appeared, and all the sons of Jacob rose up at daybreak and went into the castle, and they smote those who remained of the Koranites in a terrible manner, and they were all killed in the castle. And the 6th day appeared, and all the inhabitants of Canaan saw at a distance at the people of Beth Corin lying dead in the castle of Beth Corin, and strewed about as the carcasses of lambs and goats. Man, they got killing each other in the middle of the dark. Man, they woke up and was like, what in the world? Right. And the sons of Jacob led all the spoil which they had captured from Gaash and from Beth Corin, and they found the city full of people like the sand of the sea, and they fought with them, and the sons of Jacob smote them till the evening. And so they were beating their behind all the way to the evening time, which is about, they say into the morning all the way to about 6 o'clock. So they put in a full day's work. Right. And it says, and the sons of Jacob did unto Beth Corin as they had done unto Gaash and Tapnach, and they had done unto Chazar and Sartan and Shiloh. And the sons of Jacob took with them the spoil of Beth Corin and all the spoil of the cities. And on that day they went home to Shechem, Slakin. And the sons of Jacob came home to the city of Shechem, and they remained without the city, and they had been rested there from the war, and tarried there all night. And all the servants together with all the spoil they had taken from the cities, they left without the city, and they did not enter the city, for they said, peradventure, there may be yet more fighting against us, and they may come to besiege us in Shechem. And Jacob and his sons and their servants remained on that night and the next day, and the portion of the field which Jacob had purchased from Hamor for 5 shekels, and all that they had captured was with them. And the booty which the sons of Jacob had captured, now this is not talking about cheeks, this is talking about like treasures and stuff like that, okay? And all the booty
they should know that, if they don't know that, come on now.
Nah, they know I'm joking, man. And the booty right?
Great. Wow.
God. It says, and the booty which the sons of Jacob had captured in a portion of the field, immense as the sand of this. Wow. It says it was as immense as the sand upon the seashore, right? So they had caught a lot of treasure, man. Scrolling up to 21. Saw you up.
All right, let's get it. Yeah, man, it's amazing. Like I said at the beginning, man, the Most High allow Israel, man, just to capture all their spoils, man. Their women, man, anything they had, gold, silver, all of this stuff, boy. All right, let's get it. 21. And the inhabitants of the land observed them from afar, and all the inhabitants of the lands were afraid of the sons of Jacob, who had done this thing. For no king from the days of old had ever done this. So in other words, they made history. You know why? Because the Most High was with them. So it's like, that's why, man, it behooves our people, man, just to get back, man, obey the Most High, man, obey his commands. You know what I'm saying? And the 7 kings of the Canaanites resolved to make peace with the sons of Jacob, for they were greatly afraid of their lives on account of the sons of Jacob. And on that day, being the 7th day, Jasher, king of Hebron, sent secretly to the king of AI. I mean, that's crazy. I as A
Huh.
A
I was like,
that
what? AI.
I
Uh,
and and to the king of Gibeon, and to the king of Shalem, and to the king of Adullam, and to the king of Lachish, and to the king of Chezar, and all the Canaanitish kings who were under their subjection. So these are all Hamite nations, man, that are coming against Israel. It says, "Go up with me and come to me, that we may go to the sons of Jacob, and I will make peace with them, and from a treaty with them, lest all your lands be destroyed by the swords of the sons of Jacob, as they did to Shechem and the cities around it, as you have heard and seen. And when you come to me, do not come with many men, but let every king bring his 3 head captains, and every captain bring 3 of his officers." Scroll that up to 26 there.
mm-hmm.
All right. And come all of you to Hebron, and we will go together to the sons of Jacob, and supplicate them that they shall form a treaty of peace with us. And all those kings did as the king of Hebron had sent to them, for they were all under his counsel and command. And all the kings of Canaan assembled to go to the sons of Jacob to make peace with them. And the sons of Jacob returned and went to the portion of the field that was in Shechem, for they did not put confidence in the kings of the land. And the sons of Jacob returned and remained. Was that, you got something?
No. I said, yeah. I wouldn't put confidence in them either. You know what I mean? Just shows that they're
No,
trustworthy.
no, exactly. I mean, Scripture says that too. Ecclesiasticus 12 says, "And the sons of Jacob returned and remained in the portion of the field 10 days, and no one came to make war with them. And when the sons of Jacob saw that there was no appearance of war, they all assembled and went to the city of Shechem. And the sons of Jacob remained in Shechem. And at the expiration of 40 days, all the kings of the Amorites assembled from all the places and came to Hebron, to Japhia, king of Hebron." You know, man, our people, man, like back then, you know, they knew not to trust the enemies, and you know, get duped into that. Unlike today, man, many of our people just way too trusting. You know.
You know what I like too, man, is that as we read these scriptures and we see the history of our people, you can actually see the commandments at work. You know what I mean? Like the all the Proverbs, the Ecclesiastes, you know, Ecclesiasticus, all the wise sayings that we have, right? You actually see it in work on how our forefathers and those that actually kept the commandments, how they dealt with the other nations. And I think that's amazing, especially how you see how we profit and we constantly come up from that kind of, you know, from those actions, from actually obeying God instead of using our own mind. Verse 31. And the number of the kings, Salakia, and the number of kings that came to Hebron to make peace with the sons of Jacob were 21 kings. And the number of captains that came with them was 69, and their men were 189. And all these kings and their men rested by Mount Hebron. And the king of Hebron went out with his 3 captains and 9 men, and these kings resolved to go to the sons of Jacob to make peace. That's right, man. They know what time it was, man. They got tired of us killing up all whole cities and lands and stuff. And they said unto the king of Hebron, "Go there before us with thy men, and speak for us unto the sons of Jacob, and he will come after thee and confirm thy words." And the king of Hebron did so. And the sons of Jacob heard all that the kings of Canaan had gathered together and rested in Hebron. And the sons of Jacob sent 4 of their servants as spies. Oh, there we go. See, never trust thy enemy, right?
That's right.
And the sons of Jacob heard that all the kings of Canaan had gathered together and rested in Hebron. And the sons of Jacob sent 4 of their servants as spies, saying, "Go and spy these kings and search and examine their men, whether they are few or many. Or if they be in few in number, number them all and come back." And the servants of Jacob went secretly to these kings and did as the sons of Jacob had commanded them. And on the day that they came back to the sons of Jacob and said unto them, "We came unto those kings, and they are but few in number. And we numbered them all, and behold, they were 288. kings and men. Scroll over 36. Look. And the sons of Jacob said, they are but few in number. Therefore, we will not all go out to them. And in the morning, the sons of Jacob rose up and chose 62 of their men. And 10 of their sons of Jacob went with them. And they girt on their weapons of war, for they said, they are coming to make war with us, for they knew not that they were coming to make peace with them. And the sons of Jacob went with their servants to the gate of Shechem, toward those kings, and their father Jacob was with them. And when they had come forth, behold, the king of Hebron and his 3 captains and 9 men were with them, coming along the road against the sons of Jacob. And the sons of Jacob lifted up their eyes and saw at a distance Jasher, king of Hebron, with his captains coming toward them. And the sons of Jacob took their stand at the place of the gate of Shechem and did not proceed. And the king of Hebron continued his advance, he and his captains, until he came nigh to the sons of Jacob. And he and his captains bowed down to them to the ground. And the king of Hebron sat with his captains before Jacob and his sons. That's right. Sit down, king. You know what I mean? Sit down before the greatest of all forefathers.
That's right.
And it says, and the sons of Jacob said unto him, what has befallen thee, O king of Hebron? Why hast thou come to us this day? What dost thou require from us? And the king of Hebron said unto Jacob, I beseech thee, thou, my lord, all the kings of the Canaanites have come this day to make peace with you. That's right. You know what it is?
That's right. Better recognize what.
Yeah,
Verse
man. The
41.
power of the Most High was with us, man. Slaying
That's
everybody.
Right. Verse 41. And the sons of Jacob heard the words of the king of Hebron, and they would not consent to his proposal, for the sons of Jacob had no faith in him. That's right. You don't trust your enemies, for they imagined that the king of Hebron had spoken deceitfully to them, which they do. Because you look at the nations now, and the king of Hebron knew from the words of the sons of Jacob that they did not believe his words. And the king of Hebron approached nearer to Jacob and said unto him, I beseech thee, my lord, to be assured that all these kings have come to you on peaceable terms, for they have not come with all their men, neither did they bring their weapons of war with them, for they have come to seek peace from my lord and his sons. And the sons of Jacob answered the king of Hebron, saying, Send thou to all these kings. If thou speakest truth unto us, let them each come signally before us. And if they come unto us unarmed, we shall then know that they seek peace from us. And Japhia, king of Hebron, sent one of his men to the king, and they all came before the sons of Jacob and bowed down to them to the ground. And these kings sat before Jacob and his sons, and they spoke unto them, saying, I'll go ahead and scroll that up.
Got you, brother.
We have heard all that you did unto the kings of the Amorites with your sword and exceedingly mighty arm, so that no man could stand up before you. And we were afraid of you for the sake of our lives, lest it should befall us as it did to them. So we have come unto you to form a treaty of peace between us, and now therefore contract with us a covenant of peace and truth, that you would not meddle with us, inasmuch as we have not meddled with you. And the sons of Jacob knew that they had really come to seek peace from them. And the sons of Jacob listened to them and formed a covenant with them. And the sons of Jacob swore unto them that they should not meddle with them, and that all the kings of the Canaanites swore also to them. And the sons of Jacob made them tributary to the day that from that day forward. And after this, all the captains of these kings came with their men before Jacob, with presents in their hands for Jacob and his sons, and they bowed down to him to the ground. Let's go look at 50. Or was
Man,
that it?
tributary? Yeah. No, I'm scrolling up now. Slug it for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I'm scrolling up. Yeah, man. Tributary Israel. You know that means that man. You can read the last. You can read all the.
Yeah. I'll get all that.
But Israel tributary. That means that Israel had ended up getting these nations to pay them yearly. You know what I'm saying? You bring tribute to Israel, or you get put to death type of situation, right? You got to bring gifts, whatever. And we don't pay for none of it. It's just, you looking out, you know what I'm saying? They're a to, to keep our boot from up your backside.
Yep. It's the same. It's the same thing that the nations are doing right now to these old fake-ish people. They send you know how much they get billions a year, billions.
Yeah, even from us. Well, not billions, but but we give them a lot every year.
Yep. And these kings then urged the sons of Jacob and begged of them to return all the spoils they had captured from the 7 cities of the Amorites. And the sons of Jacob did so, and they returned all that they had captured, the women, the little ones, the cattle, and all the spoil which they had taken. And they sent them off, and they went away each to his city. And all these kings again bowed down to the sons of Jacob. It's amazing, man, how even the Most High, man, amongst our enemies, if our enemies, man, show peace, and if they bow down to the God of the Israelites, man, even the Most High will show mercy. And that's been proven. Doesn't mean that they're going to be grafted in, or doesn't mean that they're in the Most High's good favor. It's that there's a level of respect that the Most High has. If these nations bow down to Israel, and as all these kings again bowed down to the sons of Jacob, and they sent or brought them many gifts in those days. And the sons of Jacob sent off these kings and their men, and they went peaceably away with them to their cities. And the sons of Jacob also returned to their home, to Shechem. And there was a peace from that day forward between the sons of Jacob and the kings of the Canaanites, until the children of Israel came to inherit the land of Canaan. So that would be hundreds of years later.
And remember now, the Most High, man, he okayed this. So there's no such thing as being equal in the scriptures. And, like there is no equality, what I'm saying, amongst the races or none of that. You know what I mean? Equality and how you show peace in the scriptures is having dominance over the other races.
That's right.
Jasher 41.
That's why the Most High says, that's why the Most High says, I chose you above all people on the earth. Chosen people.
Jasher.
Our people don't want that, though. Our people don't want that. They don't want to be a chosen people, man.
No, not at all. All right. 41. You good, Ak? You good?
I'm good.
Okay, all right. 41. And it says, at that revolution of the year, right? Means the whole time of the year, the sons of Jacob journeyed from Shechem, and they came to Hebron, to their father Isaac, and they dwelt there. But their flocks and herds they fed daily in Shechem. And there was there in those days good and fat pasture. And Jacob and his sons and all their household dwelt in the valley of Hebron. And in those days, in that year, being the 160th year of the life of Jacob, 160. All right, Jacob, well, you live for some years, boy. In the 10th year of Jacob's coming to Paddan Aram, that Leah, the wife of Jacob, died, and she was 51 years old when she died in Hebron. Man, that's only like a third of Jacob's life that she only lived, man. And when Jacob and his sons had buried her in the cave of the field in Machpelah, which is in Hebron, which Abraham had brought from the children of Heth for a possession, a burial place, right? When they bought Sarah, for they buried Sarah there, right? And the rest of them. And the sons of Jacob dwelt with their father in the valley of Hebron, and all the inhabitants of the land knew their strength, and their fame went throughout the land. And that was only because the Lord was with them. We can't do nothing by ourselves. And Joseph, the son of Jacob, and his brother Benjamin, right? He was first born Ben-Oni, right? But the reason why he was being Ben-Oni because he ended up killing his mother at birth. But Jacob ended up changing his name to Benjamin. The sons of Rachel, the wife of Jacob, yet were young in those days, and they did not go out with their brethren during their battles in all the cities of the Amorites. And when Joseph saw the strength of his brethren and their greatness, he praised them, extolled them. But he ranked himself greater than them and extolled himself above them. Jacob, his father, also loved him more than any of his sons, for he was a son of his old age. Right? It was an old man baby. And though his love toward him, he made him a coat of many colors, right? So jealousy began amongst the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And when Joseph saw that his father loved him more than his brethren, he continued to exalt himself above his brethren. And he brought unto his father evil reports concerning them. And he snitching, right? And the sons of that's crazy, man. Hey, man, the younger brother snitching. Yeah, I seen him do this out there, right? And the sons of Jacob, seeing the whole of Joseph's conduct toward them, and that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him all the days. And Joseph was 17 years old, so he was a little upstart. And Joseph was 17 years old, and he was still magnifying himself above his brethren, and the thought of raising himself above them. At that time, he dreamed a dream. Oh man, this probably made it worse too, right? And at that time, he dreamed a dream, and he came unto his brothers and told him his dream. And he said unto them, I dreamed a dream, and behold, we were all binding sheaves in the field, and my sheaf rose and placed itself upon the ground, and your sheaf surrounded it and bowed down to it. I know it was bad. Go ahead.
Hey man, they was hating. Hey man, come on man, you the little baby man. How you gonna come up and try to raise yourself over us, man? And I ain't gonna lie, man. Joseph was gloating a little. You know what I'm saying? He was feeling himself a little bit there, man. Being a young kid, man. You at that age, that's just the way it's gonna be sometimes. Verse 11. And his brother answered him and said to him, what meaneth this dream that thou hast dreamed? Dost thou imagine in thy heart to reign or rule over us? And he still came and told the thing to his father Jacob. And Jacob kissed Joseph when he heard these words from his mouth. And Jacob blessed Joseph. And when the sons of Jacob saw that their father had blessed Joseph and had kissed him, and that he loved him exceedingly, they became jealous of him and hated him the more. Man, there had to been some serious loafing, because all them brothers, man, they grew up pretty much together, man. Like Judah and them, they grew up like a pack of lions, So, their bond between the older brothers was strong. But Joseph, just a little young buck coming up, man, and they wouldn't go for that. Verse 14. And after this, Joseph dreamed another dream and related the dream to his father, and in the presence of his brethren. And Joseph said unto his father and brethren, behold, I have again dreamed a dream, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bow down to me. Hey, watch what the father says, man. It says, and his father heard the words of Joseph and his dream, and seeing that his brethren hated Joseph on account of this matter, Jacob therefore rebuked Joseph before his brethren on account of this thing, saying, what meaneth this dream which thou hast dreamed? And this magnifying thyself before thy brother, who are older than thou art. All right, scroll up there.
Man, he talking big, man. He is talking big. I'm gonna scroll to
16.
Scroll up. Con, I got you, brother. It's
Yeah.
all right.
It says, dost thou imagine in thy heart that I and thy mother and thy 11 brothers will come and bow down to thee, that thou speakest these things? And his brethren were jealous of him on account of his words and dreams, and they continued to hate him. And Jacob reserved the dream in his heart. So in other words, he just kind of like kept it quiet, kept it to himself, because he started to feel the hate. But little did Joseph know that many years later, this would come. They just didn't understand it at the time, because the Most High was already putting in place the pieces together that was going to be there when the dream, came into fruition. And the sons of Jacob went one day to feed their father's flock in Shechem. For they were all still herdsmen in those days. And whilst the sons of Jacob were that day feeding in Shechem, they delayed, and the time of gathering in the cattle was past, and they had not arrived. And Jacob saw that his sons were delayed in Shechem. And Jacob said within himself, peradventure, the people of Shechem have risen up to fight against them. Therefore, they have delayed coming this day. And Jacob called Joseph his sons and commanded him, saying, behold, thy brethren are feeding in Shechem this day, and behold, they have not yet come back. Now, go now, therefore, and see where they are, and bring me word back concerning the welfare of thy brethren and the welfare of the flock.
Mm.
So you
All right. All right, so we're starting at verse 21, and it says, And Jacob sent his son Joseph to the valley of Hebron. And Joseph came for his brothers to Shechem and could not find them. And Joseph went about the field which was near Shechem to see where his brothers returned. And he missed his road in the wilderness and knew not which way he should go. And the angel of the Lord found him wandering in the road toward the field. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Man, imagine when you get lost, the Lord sends an angel down. You know what I mean, man? This is how close we were to keeping the lost. I mean, this is how close we were to the Most High back in those days. And Hamashiach, man. You know, man, one of the, you know what I'm saying, one of the chosen people get lost, the Lord sent an angel down, not a regular man out of the way, but you know what I mean? And an angel of the Lord found him wandering in the road toward the field. And Joseph said unto the angel of the Lord, I seek my brethren. Hast thou not heard where they are feeding? And the angel of the Lord said unto Joseph, I saw thy brethren feeding here, and I heard them say that they would go and feed in Dothan. And Joseph hearkened to the voice of the angel of the Lord, and he went to his brethren in Dothan, and he found them in Dothan feeding the flock. And Joseph advanced to his brethren, and before he had come nigh unto them, they had resolved to slay him. Dirty brethren, man. And Simeon said to his brethren, Behold, the man of dreams is coming. Man, hey, man, this how you know these is, brothers, man. Black, so-called Negroes, right? Israelites. It says, and Simeon said to his brethren, Behold, the man of dreams is coming unto us this day. And now, therefore, come, let us kill him and cast him in one of the pits that are in the wilderness. And when his father shall seek him from us, we will say, an evil beast has devoured him. And Reuben heard the words of his brethren concerning Joseph. And he said unto them, you should not, Reuben was the one that laid with old boy wife, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Okay, man. Reuben trying to redeem himself. And Reuben heard the words of his brethren concerning Joseph. And he said unto them, you should not do this thing. For how can we look upon our father Jacob, cast him into this pit and to die there, but stretch forth not the hand upon him to spill his blood? And Reuben said this in order to deliver him from their hand, to bring him back to his father. And when Joseph came to his brother, and he sat before them, and they rose upon him and seized him and smote him to the earth and stripped him of the coat of many colors which he had on. Oh man, so he caught a beat down. Poor Joseph talking all that trash. Talking about he with the sun and the moon go bow down. That's wild.
But if you notice, man, read that part again where they stripped him out of his coat.
Con. It says, verse 27, and when Joseph came to his brethren, he sat before them, and they rose upon him and seized him and smote him to the earth and stripped the coat of many colors which he had on.
Now imagine they stripped that dude out of his coat. They didn't strip the coat off of him. They stripped him out of the coat. That's a big difference right there.
Yeah, God. They beat him down, man. Poor Joseph,
it's like they snatched him so hard, man. They snatched him right out of the coat.
God. Then you gonna find out like he a pretty boy too. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll look better than all the brothers. So them boys is pretty much hating on him on all around. So this is 9 goes up more than that. All right, slug. 28. And they took him and cast him into a pit. And in the pit there was no water, but serpents and scorpions. And Joseph was afraid of the serpents and scorpions that were in the pit. And Joseph cried out with a loud voice, and the Lord hid the serpents and scorpions in the sides of the pit, and they did not harm Joseph. Power of the Most High, man. Not even, right? Joseph was scared of some bugs, and the Most High said, all right, you little baby, let me hide the bugs. And Joseph called out from the pit to his brethren and said unto them, what have I done unto you? And in what have I sinned? Do you not fear the Lord concerning me? Am I not your bones and flesh? And is not Jacob your father, my father? Why do you do this thing unto me this day? And how will you be able to look upon your father Jacob? And he continued to cry out and call unto his brethren from the pit. And he said, O Judah, Simeon and Levi, my brethren, lift me up from this place of darkness in which you have placed me. And come this day to have compassion on me, ye children of the Lord, and sons of Jacob my father. And if I have sinned unto you, are you not the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And if they saw an orphan they have compassion over him, or one that was hungry, they gave him bread to eat, or one that was thirsty, they gave him water to drink, or one that was naked, they covered him with his garments.
Mm.
I'll read it in
There's
34.
something.
It is.
Okay,
it is
yeah,
in
yeah,
34.
yeah.
And how will you withhold your pity from your brother? For I am your flesh and bones. And if I have sinned unto you, surely you will do this on the account of my father. And Joseph spoke these words from the pit, and his brethren could not listen to him, nor incline their ears to the words of Joseph.
Wow.
And Joseph was crying and weeping in the pit. And Joseph said, oh, that my father knew this day the act which my brothers have done unto me, and the words which they have this day spoken unto me. And all my brethren heard his cries and weeping in the pit, and his brethren rent and removed themselves from the pit, so they might not hear the cries of Joseph and his weeping in the pit. Yeah, because they was feeling bad. You know what I mean? They didn't want to hear their brother because their hearts was getting pricked by the truth. Even though Joseph was taunting them a little bit, man. You know, I mean, you know, come on, man. That's just like Israel, though. You know, our people, you know, you hate so bad, you just want to kill them or something, man. You know what I mean? That's some hating stuff.
That's crazy, man. And it's bad because we don't even keep the commandments, you know, and we had that hate towards our brother.
All
right. Chapter 42. And they went and sat on the opposite side, about the distance of a bow shot. And they sat there to eat bread. And whilst they were eating, they held counsel together what was to be done with him, whether to slay him or to bring him back to his father. They know they couldn't slay him because that was, you know, that would be a curse. Can't kill your own brother. They knew that. They were holding the counsel when they lifted up their eyes and saw, and behold, there was a company of Ishmaelites coming at a distance by the road of Gilead, going down to Egypt. And Judah said unto them, wait, he says, what gain will it be for us to slay our brother? Peradventure, God will require him from us.
Right.
This then is the counsel proposed concerning him, which you shall do unto him. Behold, this company of Ishmaelites going down to Egypt. Now therefore, come, let us dispose of him there, him to them, and let not our hand be upon him. And they will lead him along with them, and he will be lost amongst the people of the land, and we will not put him to death with our own hands. And the proposal pleased his brothers, and they did according to the word of Judah.
Yo.
About to sell their brother into slavery, man. Verse 5.
Hey. Man, you see in verse 3 where it says, and Judah said unto them, what gain will it be for us to slay our brother? Peradventure, God will require him from us.
Right.
You know, they probably got that from Adam. You know, I mean, well, not Adam, but you know, Cain and Abel. How God had required it from Cain. Where am I scrolling up to? Verse 5?
Yeah, verse 5.
All right,
Yeah.
But it's wild how you can see that the history has been passed down from Adam, you know, from Adam and Eve, and what happened through history, that they do actually know what's going on.
Well, they were still, when you think about it, man, they were still closer to creation, man, than we are to their time. So you know, it's pretty interesting. And whilst they were discoursing about this matter, and before the company of Ishmaelites had come up to them, 7 trading men of Midian passed by them. And as they passed, they were thirsty, and they lifted up their eyes and saw the pit in which Joseph was immersed. And they took, should be immersed, and behold, every species of birds was upon him. And these Midianites ran to the pit to drink water, and they thought that it contained water. And on coming before the pit, they heard the voice of Joseph crying and weeping in the pit. And they looked down into the pit, and they saw, and behold, there was a youth of comely appearance and well favored. And they called unto him and said, Who art thou? And who brought thee hither? And who placed thee in this pit in the wilderness? And they all assisted to raise up Joseph, and they drew him out and brought him up from the pit, and took him and went away to their journey, and passed by his brother. And these said unto them, Why do you do this, to take your servant from us and to go away? Surely we placed this youth in the pit because he rebelled against us. And you came to bring him up, led him away. then give us back our servant. And the Midianites answered and said unto Jacob, is this your servant, or does this man attend you? Peradventure, you all are his servants. You all are his servants, for he is more comely and well favored than any of you. So even the Midianites acknowledge, man, this youth wasn't no ordinary youth. And why do you all speak falsely unto us? Now therefore we will not listen to your words, nor attend to you. For we found the youth in the pit in the wilderness, and we took him, and we will therefore go on.
That boy say, man, your brother look better than all y'all, and he's more well spoken than y'all. You know, we don't believe y'all. That's wild, man.
That's funny, man.
All right. Verse 11. And all the sons of Jacob approached them and rose up to them and said unto them, give us back our servant. And why will you all die by the edge of the sword? And the Midianite cried out against them, and they drew their swords and approached to fight with the sons of Jacob. And behold, Simeon rose up from his seat against them. Oh, you don't want no problem with Simeon now. Simeon rose up at his seat against them and sprang upon the ground and drew his sword and approached the Midianites, and he gave a terrible shout before them, so that his shout was heard at a distance, and the earth shook at Simeon's shouting. And the Midianites were terrified on account of Simeon and the noise of his shouting, and they fell upon their faces and were excessively alarmed. And Simeon said unto them, verily I am Simeon, the son of Jacob the Hebrew, who have only with my brother destroyed the city of Shechem and the cities of the Amorites. So shall God moreover do unto me, that if all your brethren, the people of the Midian, and also the kings of Canaan, were to come with you, they could not fight against me. Dang, boy, he talking big boy talk, boy. He talking big. He says, now therefore give us back the youth whom you have taken, lest I give your flesh to the birds of the skies and the beasts of the earth. And the Midianites were more afraid of Simeon, and they approached the sons of Jacob with terror and fright, and then with pathetic words, saying, surely you have said that that young man is your servant, and that he rebelled against you, and therefore you placed him in the pit. What then will you do with a servant who rebels against his master? Now therefore sell him to us, and we will give you all that you will require for him. And the Lord was pleased to do this in order that the sons of Jacob should not slay their brother. And the Midianites saw that Joseph was of comely appearance and well favored. They desired him in their hearts and were urgent to purchase him from his brethren. They sound like they some, never mind. Sounds kind of fruity, you know what I'm talking about? The Midianites, you know what I mean? Anyways, and the sons of Jacob hearkened to the Midianites, and they sold their brother Joseph to them for 20 pieces of silver. And Reuben, their brother, was not with them. And the Midianites, yeah, because they had to do it away from Reuben, because Reuben was against this in the begin with. And the Midianites took Joseph and continued their journey to Gilead. And they were going along the road, and the Midianites repented for what they had done in having purchased this young man. And one said to another, what is this thing that we have done in taking this youth from the Hebrews, who is of comely appearance and well favored?
You know, it's amazing. You read earlier that it pleased the Most High to do this so that they wouldn't kill his brother. You know, sometimes, man, even though selling your own brother in slavery is bad in itself, though, but you got to understand, man, we're dealing with the Most High, man, who's from the beginning to the end and sees all things, you know, and he saw what was going to happen. He saw the future that it was all laid out and everything. So, you know, that's why, you know, the Most High allowed it to happen that way, because he already knew how it was going to play out. All right. But I just, you know, think that's amazing, man. Even with our captivity, you know, the Most High allowed it, though. But you know what? Guess what? What's going to come out of it, man, is that you're going to have a remnant of polished Hebrews.
God.
It says, perhaps this youth is stolen from the land of the Hebrews. And why then have we done this thing? And if he be sought for and found in our hands, we shall die through him.
Hey,
now, surely,
that's the law right there, though. That's the law. If any man can be found in your hands that be stolen, he should surely be put to death. that just goes to
Hey,
show you, man, that the laws have been, like the Most High done passed that around. Hey, man, don't try it.
yeah. But hey, man, but if these Midianites, man, if they would have known that these were the sons of Jacob, oh, they would have ran, man. They would have ran in
Con.
terror because they had already got word out. So they didn't. That tells you right there that Midianites didn't know who they were.
Well,
They
yeah, man, they
disguised
definitely didn't know who old boy was, because remember, he never fought. You know what I'm saying? Joseph has never fought because he was too young. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was almost the last baby to be born.
But I'm talking about the brothers though that they were dealing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Midianites were dealing with.
Con.
Yeah. It says, now surely hardy and powerful men have sold him to us. The strength of one of whom you saw this day, perhaps they stole him from his land with their might and with their powerful arm, and have therefore sold him to us for the small value which we gave him unto them. So they didn't know that these were the sons of Jacob that sold Joseph unto them. They had no clue. If they did, man, there's no way that would have happened. They would have ran away. And whilst they would have got rebuked too. They were like, man, why are you selling your own brother, man? You're supposed to be the sons of Jacob.
I know, right? They don't want no parts of it. Yeah, they would have been like, oh, hold up now.
Yep. And whilst they were thus discoursing together, they looked, and behold, the company of Ishmaelites, which was coming at first, and which the sons of Jacob saw, was advancing towards the Midianites. And the Midianites said to each other, come, let us sell this youth to the company of Ishmaelites, who are coming toward us. And you know, the Ishmaelites are descendants from Abraham, from Ishmael. And we will take for him the little that we gave for him, and we will be delivered from his evil. And they did so. And they reached to the Ishmaelites, and the Midianites sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, which they had given for him to his brethren. I'm not too sure how much that would be worth today in the day's time, though, but probably not that much. Like a couple of $100 or something like that. And the Midianites went on their road to Gilead, and the Ishmaelites took Joseph, and they let him ride upon one of the camels, and they were leading him to Egypt. And Joseph heard that the Ishmaelites were proceeding to Egypt, and Joseph lamented and wept at this thing, that he was to be so far removed from the land of Canaan, from his father. And he wept bitterly whilst he was riding upon the camel. And one of the men observed him, and made him go down from the camel and walk on foot. And notwithstanding this, Joseph continued to cry and weep. And he said, oh, my father, my father. And one of the Ishmaelites rose up and smote Joseph upon the cheeks. And he still continued to weep. And Joseph was fatigued in the road, and was unable to proceed on account of the bitterness of his soul. I bet he probably wanted to die that day. And they all smote him and afflicted him in the road. Man. So he's heartbroken, man, that his brother sold him. And now he's getting beat, man, by a bunch of heathens.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I think the Most High did this to him on purpose, man, to humble him, because he was a little little crap stain in the beginning. Exalting himself over his brothers. He ain't did nothing, doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep. And they terrified him in order that he might cease from weeping. And the Lord saw the ambition of Joseph and his trouble. And the Lord brought down upon those men darkness and confusion. And the hand of every one that smote him became withered.
Ooh.
Yep. Go to 29. Yep. So even though they were doing it to him, man, but the Most High still, he's like, hey, man, you don't beat up on my servant, Okay, what he done? It says, and they said to each other, what is this thing that God has done to us in the road? And they knew not that this befell them on account of Joseph. And the men proceeded on the road, and they passed along the road of Ephrath, where Rachel was buried. And Joseph reached his mother's grave, and Joseph hastened and ran to his mother's grave and fell upon the grave and wept.
Man, the Most High is funny, man. And Most High, because Like, even though the Lord allows that kind of stuff to happen to Joseph, and he's getting, as you can tell, man, he's getting humbled pretty much by this experience and everything else that follows after. And then the Lord, lifts him up again. But this is the, I just think it's funny that, the Lord will use the heathen to do something crazy, but then will still punish the heathen for doing it. Talking about the king of Egypt, what I'm saying? Hey, the same thing, like the Lord forced him to have a hard heart so he could destroy him. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing here. You look like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you do this, but don't worry. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. There's no way you can turn against his will or anything like that. So I'm glad I'm I'm an Israelite and not one of these heathens at the Most High. He just willfully plays with their, just willfully plays with them just for his pleasure to destroy him. There's nothing but doom and gloom for every single heathen. I mean, they might have some good life here for a little while, but for the most part, man, the Most High, man, he just be messing with them boys.
Mm-hmm.
We at 31. It's lucky. Let me scroll up. And Joseph cried aloud to his mother's grave, and he said, "Oh, my mother, my mother. O thou who didst give birth to me, awake now and arise and see thy son, how thou hast been sold for a slave, and no one to pity him. Oh, arise and see thy son. Weep with me on account of my troubles, and see that the heart of my brethren. Arise, my mother, arouse, awake from thy sleep for me, and direct thy battles against my brethren. Oh, how they have stripped me of my coat and sold me already twice for a slave. It separated me from my father, and there is no one to pity me. Arouse and lay thy cause against them before God, and see whom God will justify in judgment and whom he will condemn." Like Joseph is, arise, my mother. Arise, O my mother. Rise, awake from thy sleep, and see my father, how this soul is with me this day, and comfort him and ease his heart. And Joseph continued to speak these words, and Joseph cried aloud and wept bitterly upon his mother's grave. And he ceased speaking, and from bitterness of heart he became still as a stone upon the grave. And Joseph heard the voice speaking to him from beneath the ground, which answered him with bitterness of heart, and with a voice of weeping and praying in these words, my son Joseph, I have heard the voice of thy weeping and the voice of thy lamentation. I have seen thy tears. I know thy troubles, my son, and it grieves me for thy sake, and abundant grief is added to my grief. Now, therefore, my son Joseph, my son, hope to the Lord. Wait for him, and do not fear, for the Lord is with thee. He will deliver thee from all trouble. That's what I'm talking about, man. As always, you got to keep your faith in the Most High, man. Got to keep your faith in the Lord. Rise, my son. Go down unto Egypt with thy masters, and do not fear, for the Lord is with thee, my son. And she continued to speak like unto these words unto Joseph, and she was still. And Joseph heard this, and he wondered greatly at this, and he continued to weep. And after this, one of the Ishmaelites observed him crying and weeping upon the grave, and his anger was kindled against him. And he drove him from there, and he smote him and cursed him. And Joseph said unto the men, may I find grace in your sight to take me back to my father's house? And he will give thee abundance of riches. Oh, Salakia, I'm reading your part.
Oh, which one? 41? I'm at 41?
Yeah. You can read it again. Salakia.
Okay. Yep. No, I got you. Man, something else, man. Says, and Joseph heard this, and he wondered greatly at this, and he continued to weep. And after this, one of the Ishmaelites observed him crying and weeping upon the grave, and his anger was kindled against him. And he drove him from there, and he smote him and cursed him. And Joseph said unto all the men, may I find grace in your sight to take me back to my father's house, and he will give you abundance of riches. And they answered him, saying, art thou not a slave? And where is thy father? And if thou hast a father, thou wouldest not already twice have been sold for a slave for the little value. And their anger was still aroused against him. And they continued to smite him and to chastise him. And Joseph wept bitterly. And the Lord saw Joseph's affliction. And the Lord again smote those men and chastised them. And the Lord caused darkness to envelop them upon the earth. And the lightning flashed, and the thunder roared, and the earth shook at the voice of the thunder and of the mighty wind. And the men were terrified and knew not where they should go. I'll scroll up to 45. And the beast
Hold up, Sluck. I don't know what's going on with this thing. No, Sluck. All right, go ahead.
and the beasts and camels stood still, and they led them, but they would not go. They smote them, and they crouched upon the ground. And the men said to each other, "What is this that God has done to us? What are our transgressions, and what are our sins that this thing has thus befallen us?" And even the heathens had a reverence for the Most High. They knew when they saw the signs. And one of them answered and said unto them, "Perhaps on account of the sin of afflicting this slave has this thing happened this day to us. Now therefore implore him strongly to forgive us, and then we shall know on whose account this evil befalleth us. And if God shall have compassion over us, then we shall know that all this cometh to us on account of the sin of afflicting this slave."
Man.
And the men did so, and they supplicated Joseph and pressed him to forgive them. And they said, "We have sinned to the Lord and to thee. Now therefore vouchsafe to request of thy God that thou shalt put away this death from amongst us, for we have sinned to him."
I'll scroll up. Man, you know what I think is amazing right here too is that all the nations know of God. You know, they understand that we're the chosen ones, but they still know of God. You know what I mean?
Right. And Joseph did according to their works, and the Lord hearkened to Joseph, and the Lord put away the plague which he had inflicted upon these men on account of Joseph. And the beast rose up from the ground, and they conducted them, and they went on, and the raging storm abated, and the earth became tranquilized. And the men proceeded on their journey to go down to Egypt. And the men knew that this evil had befallen them on account of Joseph. So they already knew, man. They know, man, that hey, this ain't no ordinary kid. And they said to each other, "Behold, we know that it was on account of this affliction that this evil befall us. Now, therefore, why shall we bring this death upon ourselves? Let us hold counsel what to do with this, do to this slave." And one answered and said, "Surely he told us to bring him back to his father. Now therefore come, let us take him back, and we will go to that place that we will tell us, and take from his family the price that we gave for him, and we will then go away."
Oh, you can read the rest out.
Was that it? Okay. And one answered and said, "Behold, this counsel is very good, but we cannot do so, for the way is very far from us, and we cannot go out of our road." And one more answered and said unto them, "This is the counsel to be adopted. We would not swerve from it. Behold, we are this day going to Egypt, and when we shall have come to Egypt, we will sell him there at a high price, and we will be delivered from this evil." So 3 times already, his brothers, then the then the Midianites sold him, and then now the Ishmaelites about to sell him. Man, Joseph done passed through 3 hands, man. And this thing pleased the men, and they did so, and they continued their journey to Egypt with Joseph. That's crazy, man. You getting passed through 3 groups of people, man. First your brothers, then the Midianites, and then the Ishmaelites gonna sell to the Egyptians. Damn.
And the Lord humbling old boy, man. But it's all for a reason, though. The Lord picked Joseph for a reason. Jasher 43. And when the sons of Jacob had sold their brother Joseph to the Midianites, their hearts were smitten on the account of him. And they repented of their acts, and they sought for him to bring him back, but could not find him. And Reuben returned to the pit in which Joseph had been put, in order to lift him out and restore him to his father. And Reuben stood by the pit, and he heard not a word, and he called out, "Joseph, Joseph," but no one answered or uttered a word. And Reuben said, "Joseph has died through fright, or some serpent has caused his death." And Reuben descended into the pit, and he searched for Joseph, and he could not find him in the pit, and he came out again. I don't know, boy, man. Reuben must have been super strong for him to just to jump in the pit and jump out. The old boy couldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, oh
but
man.
they
Yeah, man,
were
they were grown.
they
Yeah, they were
they were
grown.
leaping walls though, man. They were leaping
Con,
walls. Remember,
facts. Yeah.
and they said the scripture said they were leaping up walls and stuff. So it won't surprise me he jumped into a pit, and jumped out.
Yeah. Superman, man. And Reuben tore his garments and he said, "The child is not there. And how shall I reconcile my father about him if he is dead?" And he went to his brethren and found them grieving on the account of Joseph and counseling together how to reconcile their father about him. And Reuben said unto his brother and to his brethren, I came to the pit, and behold, Joseph was not there. What then shall we say unto our father? For my father will only seek the lad from me. You know, the scriptures talk about too, about don't make any haste actions when you're angry, and you know how you can lead the folly when you're angry and stuff like that. And see how the brothers, man, they got mad at their brother for talking all that crap and they wanted to kill him, but then after the deed was done, now they're like, man, you know what, they thought about it, calmed down, they ain't seen their brother around, he probably wasn't bugging them for a little while. They was like, man, why the world we did that, man? Oh, we need to go back and find old boy. But that's just like our people though. That's the same thing our people do. They might do something and then they feel bad about it later.
It says a soft answer turns away wrath, so you can't be too quick. The scripture says also consider the whole matter. So you're right, man. There's protocols to being angry, man, and then you're doing stupid stuff, and then next thing you know, you think about it, you're like, dang.
That's just crazy, man. Verse 7. I'm on 7, right? Yeah, I'm on 7.
I think so.
All right, Con. It says, and Reuben sat with them, and they all arose and swore to each other not to tell this thing unto Jacob. Right, so they're not going to tell their pop dukes. And they all said, the man who will tell this to our father or his household, or who will report this to any of the children of the land, we shall all rise up against him and slay him with the sword. And they ain't playing, man. So, the brothers kept the pact with each other. They said, any one of y'all snitch to Pop Dukes, man, or tell anybody else other than us, 11, man, hey, man, we're going to have to rise up against you and kill you. And they're probably going to kill the family, too. So that's just, yo, man, these jokers is wild. Right, and the sons of Jacob feared each other in this matter, from the youngest to the oldest, and no one spoke a word, and they concealed this thing in their hearts. Right, they kept it 100 over some wicked. That's just crazy. Right, and afterward,
almost like the fallen angels, man. They made that pact.
Yeah. It talks about too us, keeping the pact to do evil things instead of. Man, this is crazy, right? And they afterwards sat down to determine and invent something to say to their father Jacob concerning all these things. And Issachar, right? The Mexicans, I was playing. Let me stop Israel. And Issachar said it to them, here is an advice for you if it seem good in your eyes to do this thing. Take the coat which belongeth to Joseph and tear it, and kill a kid of the goats and drip his blood on it. All right, I'll back on you.
All right. Well, we're good.
Yeah, Con.
All right. And send it to our father, and when he seeth it, he will say, an evil beast has devoured him. Therefore tear ye his coat, and behold, his blood will be upon his coat. And by your doing this, we shall be free of our father's murmurings. And Issachar's advice is like Brother Aton said, the Mexicans. Oh, wow, man. And Issachar's advice pleased them, and they hearkened unto him, and they did according to the word of Issachar, which he had counseled them. And they hastened and took Joseph's coat and tore it, and they killed a kid of the goat and dipped the coat in the blood of the kid, and then trampled it in the dust. And they sent the coat to their father Jacob by the hand of Naphtali, and they commanded him to say these words. We had gathered in the cattle, and he had come as far as the road to Shechem. And further, when we found his coat upon the road in the wilderness, dipped in blood and in dust, now therefore know that whether it be thy son's coat or not. And Naphtali went, and he came unto his father, and gave him the coat. And he spoke unto him all the words which his brethren had commanded him. Let's scroll that up to 16. And Jacob saw Joseph's coat. He knew it and he fell upon his face to the ground, and became as still as a stone, and afterward rose up and cried out with a loud and weeping voice, and he said, "It is the coat of my son Joseph." That had to have been some serious loafing because
Yeah.
man, that was the son of his old age, and to lose him as he thought, that's hard to come back from. That probably put some serious stress on him. And Jacob hastened and sent one of his servants to his son, who went to them and found them coming along the road with the flock. And the sons of Jacob came to their father about evening, and behold, their garments were torn, and dust was upon their heads. And they found their father crying out and weeping with a loud voice.
Mm.
And Jacob said to his sons, "Tell me truly, what evil have you this day suddenly brought upon me?" That they answered their father Jacob, saying, "We were coming along this day after the flock had been gathered, and we came as far as the city of Shechem by the road in the wilderness, and we found his coat filled with blood upon the ground, and we knew it, and we sent unto thee if thou couldst know it." Man, can you imagine just holding this lie, man, while looking your father in the face?
Man.
It says, and Jacob heard the words of his son, and he cried out with a loud voice. And he said, "It is the coat of my son. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is rent in pieces. For I sent him this day to see whether it was well with you and well with the flocks, and to bring me word again from you. And he went as I commanded him, and this has happened to him this day, whilst I thought my son was with you." Mm.
It's a whopper, man. I'm talking about, like, this not a little lie. These niggas done schemed up a huge lie, man. Done put blood on the coat, running around in the dust. Yeah, Dad, an evil beast came and got him. That's what happened.
Damn.
Man. And then they all in on it. All 11 of them in on it, and none of the kids are nothing. And then as we continue to read, you'll see how they had to keep the secret. Anyways, we'll go. Verse 21. You had something to say, Yacht?
No, I'm good.
All right, come. And the sons of Jacob answered and said, "He did not come with us, neither have we seen him from that time of our going out from thee until now." And when Jacob heard the words, he again cried out loud, and he rose up and tore his garments, and he put sackcloth upon his loins, and he wept bitterly, and he mourned and lifted up his voice and weeping, and exclaimed and said these words, "Joseph, my son, oh, my son Joseph, I have sent thee this day after the welfare of thy brethren, and behold, thou hast been torn in pieces. Through my hand has this happened to my son. It grieves me for thee, Jacob, my son. It grieves me for thee. How sweet was thou to me during life, and now how exceedingly bitter is thy death to me. Oh, that I had died in thy stead, Joseph, my son, for it grieves me sadly for thee, my son, oh, my son, my son. Joseph, my son, where art thou? Where hast thou been drawn? Arouse, arouse from thy place, and come and see my grief for thee. Oh, my son, Jacob. Oh, my son, Joseph. Man, hey, man, Jacob was torn down. He was grieving hard over his son's death, man.
I can't only imagine, man.
No, I know that's right. I can only imagine, man, losing one of my, one of my seeds. That'll, Come now and number the tears gushing from my eyes down my cheeks, and bring them up before the Lord, that his anger may turn from me. O Joseph, my son, how didst thou fall? By the hand of one by whom no one had fallen from the beginning of the world unto this day. For thou hast been put to death by the smiting of an enemy, inflicted with cruelty. But surely I know that this has happened to thee on account of the multitude of my sins. So now he's starting to say that it's his fault his son died. Arouse now and see how bitter is my trouble for thee, my son. Although I did not rear thee, nor fashion thee, nor give thee breath or soul, but it was God who formed thee and built thy bones and covered them with flesh and breathed in thy nostrils the breath of life. And then he gave thee unto me. Now truly God who gave thee unto me, he has taken thee from me, and such then has befallen thee. And Jacob continued to speak like unto these words concerning Joseph, and he wept bitterly. He fell to the ground and became still. And he was going through it, man.
Man, that is something, man. Verse 31. And all the sons of Jacob, seeing their father's trouble, they repented of what they had done, and they also wept bitterly. And Judah rose up and lifted his father's head from the ground and placed it upon his lap. And they couldn't handle that, man. I mean, that was too much.
They were weeping for two different reasons, though. That's what I'm laughing about.
That's crazy.
They crying because of the lie they told and got their father feeling bad about it. Yeah. And their father actually crying over the death of
his son. Yeah. Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. It's like a kind of like soap opera, man, wild movie or something. And he wiped his father's tears from his cheeks. And Judah wept exceedingly great weeping, whilst his father's head was reclining upon his lap, still as a stone. And the sons of Jacob saw their father's trouble, and they lifted up their voices and continued to weep. And Jacob was yet lying upon the ground, still as a stone. See, and I can only imagine, man, when those brothers were crying like that, because, they finally realized, man, they did a bad thing, but yet the pack was so strong, they had to stick with that lie. That's probably even the worst part, This is all his sons and his servants' children rose up and stood round him to comfort him, and he refused to be comforted. And the whole household of Jacob rose up and mourned a great mourning on account of Joseph. Yep. And the whole household of Jacob rose up and mourned a great mourning on account of Joseph and their father's trouble. And the intelligence reached Isaac, the son of Abraham. Oh, dang. And the father of Jacob. And he wept bitterly on account of Joseph. So he even, man, word even got to him.
Come on, man.
Says he and all his households. But man, let me finish reading this. And he went from the place where he dwelt in Hebron, and his men with him. And he comforted Jacob, his son, and refused to be comforted. The Most High could have easily revealed this to Jacob, right? The Most High could have revealed what truly happened to Jacob or Isaac. But the Most High decided not to, because he's letting things play out. But eventually his father would find out and everything. But this after all these course of actions that have to take place first. So
yeah. And think about it, man. This was necessary. Joseph needed to go through this. He had to go through this in order to save all of us. Really, still to the day. I mean, if Joseph didn't go through that, man, we wouldn't be alive today. To be honest with you.
Yeah. That's why I believe that the Most High did not reveal it, because the Most High could have revealed it in a dream to Jacob or either Isaac.
Yeah.
He wanted to. It says, after this, Jacob rose up from the ground, and his tears were running down his cheeks. And he said unto his sons, rise up and take your swords and your bows and go forth into the field and seek whether you can find my son's body and bring it unto me, that I may bury it. It says, seek also, I pray, among the beasts and hunt them, and they that which shall come the first before it seize and bring it unto me. Perhaps the Lord will this day pity my affliction and prepare before you that which did tear my son in pieces, and bring it unto me, and I will avenge the cause of my son. So he about to send out a search party to find some beast that he thought that killed his son. And his sons did as their father had commanded them. And they rose up early in the morning, and each took his sword and his bow in his hand, and they went forth into the field to hunt the beast. And Jacob was still crying aloud and weeping and walking to and fro in the house and smiting his hands together, saying, Joseph, my son, Joseph, my son. I'm going to scroll up to 40. All right. And the sons of Jacob went into the wilderness to seize the beast. Behold, a wolf came forward them, and they seized him and brought him to their father. And they said unto him, this is the first we have found, and we have brought him unto thee, as thou didst command us. And thy son's body we could not find. All right.
Verse 41. And Jacob took the beast from the hands of his sons, and he cried out with a loud and weeping voice, holding the beast in his hand. And he spoke with a bitter heart unto the beast, why didst thou devour my son Joseph? And how didst thou have no fear of the God of the earth, or of my trouble for my son Joseph? And thou didst devour my son for naught, because he committed no violence, and didst thereby render me culpable on this account. Therefore God will require him that is persecuted. And the Lord opened the mouth of the beast, and the Lord opened the mouth of the beast in order to confront Jacob with his words. And it answered Jacob and spoke these words unto him. You know, and this goes.
Man, that is something, man.
Kind of. This is also another cut to that camp doctrine that says that the animals weren't speaking back in the day, but they were, right? They were literally speaking until God had to close their mouth. And it says, oh, is this it? Okay, yeah, it's on. All right. And the Lord opened the mouth of the beast in order to comfort Jacob with his words, and it answered Jacob and spoke these words unto him. As God liveth who created us in the earth, and as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I did not see thy son, neither did I tear him to pieces. But from a distant land I have also came to seek my son, who went from me this day. And I know not whether he be living or dead. And I came this day into the field to seek my son, and your sons found me and seized me.
Man, this is a wolf. I think it's a wolf. What it says.
It's a wolf.
This is a wolf talking, man. Like Most High opened the mouth of the wolf, and you know, a wolf is an original animal that was created by the Most High, and he's sitting there telling Jacob, you know, I'm searching for my son. It was also probably more than likely hunted or something like that. Man, that is something, man. Like that is wild, man. To be living back in those days, man, to see that kind of power.
But that also just goes to show you like this, the intelligence of the other animals. You never know what they're doing.
Yeah,
probably just think they're out there just doing whatever, man. But you know, they got cares almost just like us. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
And it says, and I came to this day into the field to seek my son, but your sons found me and seized me and increased my grief. And I have this day brought before thee, and I have now spoken all my words to thee. And now therefore, O son of man, I am in thy hands. And do unto me this day as it may seem good in thy sight. But the life of God who created me, but by the life of God who created me, I did not see thy son, nor did I tear him to pieces. Neither has the flesh of man entered my mouth all the days of my life. You know what I also think that's amazing? That, man, we have humans that don't understand that God created them, but the animals are smarter than them. It says, but by the life of God who created me, the animals know what time it is. Imagine, you just an animal, a porpoise, a wild dog, an ant, or whatever the case may be, but they have the knowledge that they were created by the Most High.
I do, yeah. And I believe they could understand us now. They just can't speak, you know?
Absolutely. Because I see a lot of these animal videos where it looks like these animals really know what's going on. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It says, and when Jacob heard the words of the beast, he was greatly astonished, and sent forth the beast from his hand, and she went her way. And Jacob was still crying aloud and weeping for Joseph day after day, and he mourned for his son many days. That's on you, Walk 44.
Okay, you check. Okay, how many? Because I kind of want to open up for questions and everything. Let's see what we got here, because we've been reading for a while there. Yeah, let's start this one next. Let's start this one next week. Yeah, I sent you a message. I sent you a message on your text. So.
Oh, it's lucky, man. My junk on silent.
Okay. Yeah, we'll start this one next week. So 44, because we're going to get into some more stuff. We're going to start getting into Joseph and him getting, with the baker and the butler and all that stuff.
John.
So that's going to be really good. It's going to be really getting into some stuff. So we'll leave off at 43, jump into 44 next week. but wanted to open up the floor for any questions now because we at least want to have at least a good 30 minutes to allow you all. If there's something that maybe that seems confusing or don't understand what we went over, it's a good time to do it.
Well, y'all have a problem with us reading out of Jubilee? I'm at Jasher, and y'all think that the doctrine is false, or the book is, some kind of way faulty. If you got any problems with that, we'll be sure we wouldn't have any problems at all with showing you the right way, or anything like that, or any still discussions about, y'all still think that he's somewhere around here, or y'all think that he's a white man. Y'all more than welcome to come on.
Yeah, man, I don't see how anybody, man, can see how the book. I don't even see how the camps, man, can falsify the book of Jasher, saying that it's not a real book when it supports everything, man, that's read in the other books.
Yeah, just like an understanding, man.
Mm-hmm.
Scriptures speak about people who try to understand with their own minds. Reading scriptures, man. This stuff all coincide.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And I pray that breakdown, the Esau breakdown we did, was very clear because, I haven't seen nobody in the comment section from that video try to buckle up. It's like, hey, if they disagree with it, let's get a debate on it.
That's right. All praise to the Most High that it seems that most of the brothers and sisters, they have a good understanding of the books that we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the truth is getting spreaded, man. Every day is a day closer to the coming of Hamashiach.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, all praises. Yeah, brother. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna go through Jubilees. We're gonna go through all the hidden books. We already went through a good portion of Enoch the other day, but we'll probably end up reading that too from beginning to end for you guys, so we can get a true.
We only read that. Yeah, we only read that prophecy. So when we read the book of Enoch, we'll just get the prophecy we read because we already got a video on it.
That's right. All right.
We'll just read through it. But y'all let us know if there's a book like, hey man, that you want us to go through. Just put it in the comment or something like that. But the book of Enoch is one of them. So.
And that way, while we're going through the book and breaking it down, that we can be able to explain, or we can show you guys that, like, how sometimes people think that, this doesn't corroborate this or this contradicts this. We can show you how there are no contradictions in the scriptures. On any of the hidden books, there are no contradictions between Jasher, Jubilees, or Enoch compared to the 66 books. It's all pretty much the same, right? All of it's the same. It's just you got to understand how the scriptures are written. That's all.
And as we're reading through the book of Jasher, there'll be times when we may not take a break, but we may discuss something else that's that's pressing or something like that from time to time, as we're reading through the book of Jasher. So like we did with the breakdown of Esau. All right. So if we come across something in Jasher, something that you may think it might be confusing, we can always take the time and break that down. Just do a lesson on that particular subject.
It says, why does the book of Genesis say 47:28? Jacob died at 147, and at Jasher 41:2 says he died at 160. Probably a translation error, all right? But that's close enough that we don't have to really worry about it within like a 20-year time span.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just probably a translation error. Let me see. Most of these things, like for example, right? I know we went back though over this a while back, but let's say for example, you get some of these scriptures that says on the new moon, or it says on the new moon, right? But see, that is some of that stuff is mistranslated, right? Or it says the first month or something like that. It says the first month or first moon, which the translation is supposed to be the first light of the moon. Right, or the first, or the first light, the first light of the moon, which would be a new moon or something like that. But a lot of these things are like translated, and then when you get these particular translations on certain parts and you read it, you be like, that makes things not make sense until you have to read the Hebrew for yourself and see like what all the words that can pertain to it. And then when you go back and cross-reference what the scripture should be, then it'll make sense, and then it'll line up with everything else. And that's how we're able to, line up the timeline with like jubilees and the flood, and then show you how the new moon here, even though it said new moon here, and then you look over here, it says the first of the month, right? But it's supposed to be the first of the first light of the moon instead of being the first of the month, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the first light of the moon would be a new moon, right? But then here, right, some of the caps, they'll be like a first month, because the word moon and month, it looks similar in the Hebrew, but then when you break it down, you'll see that it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Con. Yeah, level 1, yeah, that's true. But as we continue to break down these extra books for you guys, man, hey, feel free to answer, any questions or anything like that, because, man, you could best believe, Brother Daniel and myself, we've most likely had these same questions but we bounce off each other when we're finding stuff, and then we're just researching to the fullest of our ability as we pray and ask the Most High for guidance and wisdom as we go through these scriptures.
Right.
We have any other questions?
I'm just looking to the comments, see if anybody has anything. All right, so they answered that one. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll read these books. Excellent. Con, all praises to the Most High. We got any other questions, Israel? All right, man.
Hey, just continue to be on the lookout. Things are happening like crazy. So, I truly believe that we are living in the beginning of the end. As we see, our enemies are in disarray. Even the scripture says in Psalms, why did the heathen rage?
That's right. We know why they rage.
Right.
They don't want you to get the kingdom. They don't want us to get the kingdom. They want us to stay wicked, don't keep the commandments, and stay what we've been doing, disobeying the Most High. We've been doing it for a long time now, Israel. You gotta think about how many. It says what, 2,000 years since from the oh man, that's a lot of disobedience, man, and the Lord is still putting up with us. I mean, that's a lot.
Man. And we're this is the only generation where we're completely destroyed. The only the only captivity where we're completely destroyed, because if you look at all the other captivities, even our people knew, even in Egypt, they knew what tribes they were from. There were some things lost, practices, they were caught up in Egypt, but they still knew what tribes they were. And then your Babylonian captivity, they knew what tribes they were, they knew who they were. The Syrian, and then Greeks, and then the Romans. The sub-Saharan and the transatlantic slave trade, that did us in, man. That was a whammy. That was a doozy. That completely destroyed our brains.
God.
So we don't have a language. We don't have a culture, man. We don't have a heritage, because all that has been lost. You read Hosea 3:4, says that we should remain in time without a prince, without a king, without an ephod, without an image, without a language. None of that. The Most High wasn't playing when he said that he would put a yoke of iron upon our necks until we are completely destroyed. And I think the destruction part is still happening, because, man, our people, man, they don't even care to know who they are. Even though some may be waking up, but still, that's waking up is not enough. Anybody can acknowledge that, well, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but what are you doing about it? What are you doing to bring it out? What are you doing to help others to realize that? What are you doing to make that change? Are you getting back to the commandments so that you can be that light for the others to model off of? Or are you just going around claiming a name and you still eating pork and eating crabs and all kinds of stuff, profaning the Shabbat, but yet you're calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite?
Like a lot of these, a lot of these other doctrines and stuff, man, they try to get y'all boys led astray by paying attention to all this stuff, like the charts and stuff like that. Like, I wanted to read the scripture for a minute, right? And I'm gonna start at 61, and it says, right, and this is about, well, You'll see. And the children of the priests, right? The children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, and the children of Barzillai, right? Which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, right? The Gileadite, and was called after their name. They sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but were not found. Therefore, therefore were they as polluted, put from the priesthood, right? So what was going on during this time, during the Ezra, during this time when we were coming back into Jerusalem, right, from our captivity under King Artaxerxes, right? We were trying to get Levites for the priesthood and establish the priesthood. So they were going down the genealogy, right, to find out who was who and this, that, and the third. But a lot of the brothers that had claimed to be Levites, they didn't have their papers, right? So they had went through and saw their papers and they weren't, and they didn't have their papers. So they was like, well, we're not sure these guys' genealogy, so we can't, because they didn't have the papers, so we can't let them be in the priesthood. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because if Israel looked all different, you wouldn't have to have a paper genealogy to follow where your genes were. They would just all of a sudden, if you believe the camps where you got the 12 tribes and they look like this and then look like that, man, you can just tell who was the Levites just by looking at them, supposedly. Right? So you see stuff like this where you have to actually produce a background or a file, right, to say, to produce your genealogy, be like, I came from this one to this one, like a birth certificate to show, like who you came from, right, and who your mother and father were, right? You couldn't be in the priesthood, and this right here is a surefire proof that the 12 tribes of Israel, they all look the same.
Yeah.
So, the camps, they'll try to trick you and get you sucked in by all this, hey, you might be from the tribe of Issachar, this, that, and the earth, and, you might be from tribe of Judah, and you might be David born on the earth again, and all this other foolishness to try to, that's just too much hype to try to trick you to come back into something that's a false doctrine, right? The scriptures is not with all of that foolery and folly.
That's all it is, man. And these camps are based upon a fraud, because that's all they do, man. They collect money, man. They be having them boys out on the street corner selling water, man, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And they send all that money right back up to the headquarter camps.
God, man, wicked as hell.
Yep. Somebody, they don't do it for, man. They don't do it for the money, man. That's all they do it for is the money. Any group, man, they're no different from any other religious group. They're no different from the Methodists, the Baptists, Pentecostals. They do the same thing. They got their churches, they got their organization. They're all nonprofit. The only difference is you put Hebrew Israelites on the name of it.
One of my favorite scriptures, like I always say, right? This is why, Brother Daniel and I, we always get on folks about, following them camps and those other false doctrines, is because, listen, there is not going to be a lot of people that's going to be saved, right? It says, 15, it says, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like a wave is greater than a drop. Right? And that's one of my favorite scriptures, because that keeps me circumspect, right? If anything, let's say the Shabbat's coming up, and I want to go on a ride with the motorcycle crew, and I know they're going on a good ride and stuff, and I'm out there, saying, hey man, bump praying in the Shabbat and lighting up my candles and blowing my chauffeur and praying and doing all that stuff, man. I'm gonna be out with these, no, man, right? You have to make conscious decisions every day, right, to keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. It's those little decisions. It's those every time you make the right decisions. That's going to be the difference between you being a sheep, right, or you going to be a goat. Or you going to be a chosen, right, or the Most High, he going to, or you going to be shaft, ready for the fire. Every single day you have to make conscious decisions, right, to choose the Most High first. That's what it's about. You have to choose the Most High first, because that's the person, right? That's the entity that you're supposed to love the most. It's just like if you have a wife or whatever, or your son, your daughter, you always got to look after them first and make sure that, they're well fed, and you're doing everything that's in their best interest first, right? That's the exact same way, right? right? That you got to do it for the Most High. Well, you thinking about, man, you getting ready to tell a lie, you be like, I don't think the Most High will be pleased with that. You know what I mean? Or you getting ready to do something like this, you be like, I don't think the Most High will be pleased with that, right? As long as you keep that in your mind, and that only stays in your mind by staying in the scriptures. That's the way that you know that you're going to keep God on your mind, by constantly staying in the scriptures. That's the only way you can fight Satan, right? And all these evil spirits that he has, right? And the 10% of evil spirits that he has working for him. It's by staying in the scriptures. If you don't stay armed to the teeth, right, with the with the armor of God, right, the sword of truth, right, the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, right, you're not gonna make it. You can't do it on your own. Look, every time especially when we're reading in Jasher, what do we see? We see that every time they get into it, or every time something going on, they always got God on their mind first to help them out. God is always there. The Most High is always there. Right, the very first thing on their mind is like, Hamashiach's there. Or even when they're about to do their brother wrong, just like we read about to throw him in the ditch, what did Reuben say? What did the brother? Oh man, hey, the Most High is going to require, is going to require him of us if we do this thing. Let's not do this, because the Most High is not going to like it. We're gonna get in trouble. That's the way that we should live our lives, like that, man. We got to take,
You probably got jokes.
I got jokes. God, absolutely, yeah, man. They're a mixture, right? They're like a rat.
Yep, mixture of three races, man.
I mean, a pig. Yeah.
You think you had it right the first time?
The cat, rat, and the dog. That's what they say a pig is made up of, man. I was in there reading some signs. They said that pigs are made up of cat, rat, and a dog combined together, and that's why I don't sweat. I don't know, some weird stuff going on. I don't know. The Most High tell you better not eat that, even though it got a cloven hoof. Even in the new scripture, it said, man, if he catch you, hiding in the bushes, smashing you some bacon, man, you going on the grill. You going on the grill. He's gonna cook you in the lake of fire.
That's crazy, man.
Con.
All right, Yasharel. Well, hey, thank you all for coming on. Let's brother Aton got something. See something?
No, man. Brothers over here. No, man. Brothers over here trolling, man. They tripping over here. I know Jacob Lear firstborn was an Indian. What is the tomahawk? What is the tomahawk?
Oh man.
God. What's dropped off the internet? All right, Israel. No, I said for a second. I almost thought I dropped off the internet.
No, you still here. All right, Yasharel. Well, until next time, by the grace of the Most High, I pray that you enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. I know I am. Some of you probably on the East Coast where the sun is getting ready to set. So, hey, enjoy the rest. I still got some good hours in to meditate and everything. So with that being said, we want to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.